for stopping by, watching Just Reasoning with Joy again. Today with me is a beautiful young lady, and she's all the way from Orlando, Florida. My sister, she's here to spend the weekend, and she surprised me. But we had this interview coming. We did one before, and I was supposed to go to Orlando to see her, but so many things came up, summer time. Her name is Venice Alexander Petitfouet. How are you doing, young lady?
Good, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm blessed. Everything is all right. God is good. He's working out a lot of things for me, in my life. Sometimes things, seems to be hard, but then things work out at the end of the day. Most of the time.
Yes.
You know how it is when you first wake up?
Yes.
All kind of things just happens.
And goes through your mind.
Yes, and then at the end of the day, things work out some way or another. Things always work out. So today we want to talk about being single and then getting married and then being single again.
That's a beautiful topic.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Yes. So tell me, how was it when you were single? You were having a lot of fun, right?
Yes.
In the Lord.
Yes.
Okay. And then how was it? What are some of the things that you were doing before you got married? And then all of a sudden you got married, and then it seems like you couldn't do it the way you were doing it before.
Well, to me, being single is, I'm going to say from my point of view, is a lot better than being married. Uh-huh. And I do miss that companionship and everything, but at the same time, me being single, I'm able to come and go as I please, travel like I want to, and not have to worry about the financial burdens of it. Because when I was married, that was one of the things that seemed like it was a very heavy topic for us, was finances. And it seemed like I'm living life more now than I was when I was married.
Wow.
So it's not a financial burden anymore.
Wow.
So, but before I got married, I've always wanted to get married, but now that I experienced it, I don't know if I want to go back there.
Oh my goodness, really?
No. And I think the only reason why I say I don't want to go back there is because I like my singleness. I embrace it. I love it. I love that I can just jump up and decide, okay, I'm going to Miami for the weekend. I'm going to Atlanta for the weekend, and not have to answer to anybody, my kids, of course, but not, a significant other to where I would have to, per se, ask permission to go, or make sure that the household is taken care of before I leave, or, answering the phone every time he calls. It's just a freedom. It's just, that's what it is. It's a freedom. And I have friends that have called me selfish because I don't want to get married again.
Wow. Oh my goodness. But how was the dating world before I get married?
The dating world, it was okay. I mean, I had guy friends, but the guy friends that I had was people that I've been knowing for a very long time. So if I decided, okay, I want to go to the movies, I'll call one of them up and we'll go to the movies. We'll go out to eat or something like that. So actually I didn't date. I just had friends that I would hang out with.
Were you a Christian?
Yes.
You were a Christian before?
Yes, I was. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And I still had friends, and I was still able to go and hang out with them and live life, but I knew my limitations.
Okay. So marriage life was controlling, huh?
Yes.
Controlling for you?
Very controlling.
Wow.
And in ways, I guess it's because the person that I was with was selfish. And I didn't know how selfish he was until we got married and got up underneath one roof.
How long? How many years were y'all?
We
dating?
were dating for about 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
Before we made the move to get married and move in together. And then when we made that move, that's when a whole other side of him that I didn't know was there came out. And I didn't like it. But at the same time, I know we made a commitment before God, so therefore I was going to stay there and I was going to, work things out, work through it. But things happen and now we're not together anymore. So
it's okay. It's okay, because if there was a problem, then you can't stay, in the problem.
No.
So it's fine. It's fine. There's more fishes in the sea.
Yes. But I'm not going fishing.
Oh my gosh. Not yet.
I don't want to go fishing. I guess
Yet.
not yet. I can wait.
When you were married, what about the blending, what do they call it, the blending family, the blended family?
Yes. The blended family was okay at first, but then it seemed like it got harder. And I guess it's because he made it harder, to wanna interact with my kids. But like I said, before we got married, there was never an issue of, him communicating and interacting with my kids
And his.
At the same time.
Yeah.
None of that was an issue. But once we got married, it was like there was an issue with his kids coming over and and him doing things with all of our kids combined together. There was always an issue.
Wow.
There was always an issue for one thing or another.
Really?
Yes, it was even an issue for me to travel back home. If I wanted to come home for the weekend, I couldn't do that because we couldn't do that financially. So how is it that I'm able to do that and I'm by myself and finances are not an issue? But yet with two household incomes, you have more money. So how is it an issue?
So before you were married, you were free. You can travel with the resources that you had.
Yes.
And then when you became married, now there's two income coming in, but you couldn't travel and do the thing that you want.
No, because he would say that we didn't have the money to do that.
So he put limitation. He was being
Yes.
selfish. Wow.
Very.
Wow. And now you're having a ball.
Yes. On my income.
On one income. Wow.
Yes.
Wow. You see? Oh my goodness.
Yes. So everything worked out for the best. Everything worked out for the
Do you
best.
think that men should be so controlling?
No. I honestly feel like if a man loves his wife and he provides for his wife the way the Bible states accordingly, that woman will give him the world. That's how I feel. And my ex-husband didn't provide for us like he should have, according to the Bible.
It is for me, it is so simple. If a man loves a woman and treat a woman like he's supposed to, he doesn't even have to ask her to love him. She's gonna love him,
and she's gonna provide for him like she should,
and take care of him.
Yes.
Do everything for him. He wouldn't even have to ask.
Yes.
That's the secret. If you love her and treat her like God say, a man's supposed to treat his wife. A man's supposed to treat his wife like Christ treats
the church. Yes.
And if he does that, there wouldn't be a problem. Oh my gosh, she would kiss the ground that he walks on.
Exactly.
So men are,
I'll say it.
Yourself.
I'll say it. They're idiots.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
Some
goodness.
of them are. Some of them are, because he pursued me. He pursued me. Okay, you pursued me. You caught me. Now what? Now you box me up. You put me in a box. You don't want me to do anything on my own. You don't want me to speak my mind. You don't want me to interact with certain people. It's like, okay, I was a butterfly and you took me and you put me in a box. No, there has to be a way out.
Didn't want you to speak your mind,
Did not want me to speak my mind.
but you're not a child.
Exactly.
That is so crazy because I remember with my first husband, I couldn't even speak to people that I knew when I was a little girl.
Or
And
when
I
you were
think-
in school.
Yeah, I think it's ridiculous.
It is. It is.
It is. You have a life before you got married.
Exactly. Yes. And I have a best male friend that I've been knowing way before I met my ex-husband. And when we got married, he did not want to invite him to the wedding.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, this is my best friend.
Right.
You know, how could you not? I want him to be there.
Right.
He did not want him at the wedding
Because
because
you had a
he
life-
felt intimidated. He felt intimidated by him. But I told him, if this was somebody that I wanted to be with, I've been knowing him for about 6 or 7 years before you came along.
Right.
And me and you were dating for about 7 or 8 years prior to that. So that's 16 years. I could have easily gotten into a relationship with him. Me and him are not like that. But he still felt intimidated by him.
Men and women, women get into relationships and they do the same thing, with men, want to be controlling and want them to drop all of their friends. But men and women need to realize when you get into a relationship with people, those people had a past. They had, friends in their life before you.
Yes.
So why you want to complicate yourself? Why you want to complicate the relationship, complicate the marriage by trying to keep her from her people?
Exactly.
They want to keep you from family members
Yes.
and friends.
Yes.
And I think it is ridiculous to the max.
Yes, it is.
That is not right.
Yes, it is.
All. It's not right.
There has to be a balance. And when you get married, it's like that word compromise and balance and the biggest word, love, flies out the window. Respect flies out the window. All of that, it's like, it doesn't matter. It's obsolete, So, but for my situation, I think I can honestly say that I'm glad I got the experience from being a wife at one point. I don't know if I want to go back down that road.
You're young. It's gonna happen.
I'm sure it is,
You're
but I
young
am
and
waiting
beautiful.
on God. I am waiting on God to
Yeah.
send him my way. And like I said before, God would definitely have to be giving me a confirmation. Because if I don't get a confirmation from him, honey, it's not going to happen. So
I know. When you're single, sometimes desperate women, sometimes the first person who come along and say, oh, you're beautiful and you this, you that, you want to just like jump.
Oh,
But
no.
you have to remember the counterfeit comes first.
Yes.
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 And we have to be mindful
Of that. Exactly.
of these people.
And that's the reason why you have to befriend. You befriend the person, you get to know who they are, and I mean, even if you have to be friends with them for a year before you guys decide, okay, we're going to start dating, it's okay. It's okay to wait. Don't rush. Don't put a rush on anything. Good things comes to those who wait.
Exactly.
So I will wait.
So you're waiting it out.
I will wait. However long it is, I will wait.
I don't blame you. I really don't blame you because I've seen too many people get into situations and, and get into marriage, with the wrong people. They think that it was of God, but, but sometimes we can rush, we can try to rush God, and then the enemy can put the wrong person in your path.
Exactly.
And you think it's God.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest counterfeit.
That's true.
The person come and just mix your life up, just destroy your life. When I say destroy your life, I mean your self-esteem.
Yes.
And everything else that goes along with it. Make you feel like nothing. You know, like you said, want to just keep you in a box.
Yes.
And you know, they keeping you in a box not because they so much love you and they don't want the next one to love on you. They're just being mean.
They're selfish.
Yes,
just being selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Because how I was when you met me, now that drawed you to me. But now that you have me, you want to change up my style. You want to change up, you know, you want to change up the way I speak my mind. You want to just change up everything. And that's what I mean by putting me in a box.
Mm-hmm.
Not allowing me to be able to speak my mind. Not allowing me to be able to interact with the same people that I was interacting with before.
Mm-hmm.
So,
mm-hmm. You know, a lot of people thought I was being rude.
mm-hmm.
You know, when my spouse and I, you know, would go out, and I would be afraid to say anything, and I wouldn't say anything, and several times I was confronted, you know, because these people were around me when I was a child, and then all of a sudden now I'm married and I can't say hello
To them.
Oh my gosh, that was the worst feeling.
Mm-hmm.
The worst feeling. So I left. I had to leave. And I left. When I left because of my family, yes,
mm-hmm.
and my friends. I wasn't going to stay in it no more if I couldn't, because my mom had 8 children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people in my family. I have a lot of siblings.
Yes.
You know, I'm used to people.
Yes, and not being able to interact with them.
I have extended family. I mean, I'm used to them. You know, so why are you trying to take me away from that?
Mm-hmm.
I can't be happy.
Exactly.
And what they say, a happy wife is what?
Makes a happy husband. Keeps a happy home.
Okay then.
Yes.
Okay then. So, you know, no, I had to leave. And yes, I know how the single life is because I was happy being single.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I was happy being single with my kids and their sports, my church,
yes,
my work,
mm-hmm.
things around the house, the yard. I was so happy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you can be happy being single.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people ask me why I don't date. And I tell them because I have a life to live.
Wow.
My kids are my life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if I'm working and I'm taking care of home, and my youngest son was playing basketball, my daughter was modeling, mm-hmm. you know, my oldest son, even though he was doing his own thing at the time, he was also in track. Mm-hmm. So I was just, you know, just busy. And it was like whatever spare time I had, I spent with my kids. And I kept myself occupied at church, helping out in the daycare at church, you know, and participating in different activities.
Was he jealous of that?
I honestly believe he was, in a way.
Wow.
Because I wasn't the type to just sit in one spot and stay at home, and I was always spending time with my kids. Mm-hmm. And I honestly believed he was jealous of the fact of the amount of time that I would give my children.
But if you don't give it to your kids, who's going to give it to them?
But I won't allow nobody else to.
No, what I'm saying is that
yes.
if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it like you do.
Exactly.
So you had to do that. You know, your kids will always be there for you, but a man like you...
Come and go.
Didn't he leave?
Yes. And now he wanted to come back a couple of years ago. He wanted to come back, but it was my decision, and I was like, I'm sorry, honey. Lose my number. I've had the same number for over 15 years. Mm-hmm. So, of course, he still has my cell phone number. Mm-hmm. So, but I had to let him know, no, I'm sorry.
It ain't that type of party no more.
No. Regardless of whether you say you've changed or, you know, you're not that same person anymore, you realize that you were being selfish or what have you. Mm-hmm. No. I'm glad that you realize all that stuff. Mm-hmm. You'll be a better man for another woman, mm-hmm. not for me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes we as women do. We take them back. Mm-hmm. So therefore, they continue to treat us the way that they do because we allow it. We take them back.
Because some women, you had a chance to be ministered to and stuff because you stayed plugged in the church.
Yes.
Right? You had a chance to be ministered to and stuff. Some women, their self-esteem be so low, and they don't know their self-worth. Yeah. And so they go ahead, instead of moving on with somebody else, somebody new, they fall into the same situation and then have the same problems all over again.
With the same person.
Yes.
And sometimes with different people as well, because it becomes a pattern. It becomes a pattern. But yes, I know my self-worth. I know who I am.
That's good. That's good. That is real good. That is
I know who I am and I know whose I am.
Amen.
And nobody is going to change that.
That's good. That's real. That's real talk. I'm so happy to hear that.
Yes. Yes.
I'm so happy to hear that because I know I told you before, you're too beautiful for that. You remember?
Yes.
I'm like, girl.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm happy that you're in a good place.
Yes, I am.
Now tell me how much fun you're having with this singleness now.
Oh my gosh.
Having?
I think I'm having more fun now with being single as opposed to before I got married. Because now my kids are older. My youngest son has gone off to the Army. So I have no more little kids at home to raise. So now I have more time on my hands to where I don't have to worry about having a babysitter or anything like that. So if I decide that I just want to get up and just go somewhere, I can. And not have to, really worry about, I have to take my kids with me. We have to pack extra bags or anything like that. So, I mean, I love it. I love it. Even when I'm at home, if I decide, okay, well, I don't have to go straight home. I want to go, chill at a friend's house or something, or go and grab a bite to eat, or go to the movies. I don't have to rush home to make dinner. I don't have to rush home. I can honestly just relax and be free and cruise home instead of rushing home.
And you deserve all of that. You deserve everything that you're getting right now and experiencing right now because you started young.
Yes.
You started young. And to me, you were a super mom with your children.
Aww.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I always say you, from the day you had Quentin, you took on the responsibility and you've been a super mom. You've been there for him. I'm like, wow. She was so young. She was 15.
Yes.
And
I was 16 when I had him.
Right.
Yes.
And I always tell him, I said, look here. Your mom had you when she was 16. She got pregnant when she was 15. So you better make it count. You better make it count because she went through much.
Yes.
Yes. I always tell him that.
Yes.
So you deserve all of everything that you're getting.
And I think that's one thing I wouldn't change. If I can go back, I wouldn't change it because I grew up with my kids and they have inspired me so much in so many different ways that I honestly feel like if it wasn't for them, I probably would still be in that same marriage if it wasn't for them being there, But it was because of them being there that I prayed and I pushed and I still allowed myself to be a mother to them regardless of what was going on. So, but yes, my kids are definitely an inspiration as to where I am now.
That's good. Sometimes I wonder how you did it.
It's hard. It was hard.
I know it was hard.
Going to school.
I know it was
going
hard.
to work, trying to balance it out, staying,
But I mean, I saw how you did it in the natural, but I mean, how did you did it up here?
I think it was all God's work. It was all God's work. Because I know the word, and the word is embedded in me, and I know what kind of life I wanted my kids to have, and I know I wanted it to be better than the one that I had. So therefore, it was like I was going to do everything in my power to make sure that my kids got that life. And it didn't have to be a lavish one. I just wanted them to be able to be comfortable, stable, and come and speak to me whenever they had an issue, and not look for outside help on anything that they needed. I always had an open door policy with my kids, and I still have that open door policy. So, so I just, I love on my kids. I love on my kids. Whatever it is you need, I'm here for you. What do you need? Regardless of if I go without, you're going to have, because you're my child. This is not your fault, you being here. But I'm going to make sure that you have. And even if I have to go without, which I have, on many occasions.
I know.
So,
yeah.
But that's just basically how I got through it, through a lot of prayer. And without God's help, I honestly feel like my whole life probably would have been broken and ruined. And my kids' life probably would have been broken and ruined because of my childhood. And a lot of people don't understand how a lot of what they do as an adult trickles back. It roots back to what happened to them as a child. And until you can uproot what happened to you as a child and let it go and ask for forgiveness, or just let it go and give it to God, you're going to continue on that same pattern even if you're 50, 60 years old.
That's true.
And your children and grandchildren will suffer from it.
Yeah, that is so true, because generational stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it trickles down.
Yes, it does. It does.
I remember, what year did you get pregnant? What year was that?
88.
In 1988. I remember that day of 1988. In 1988, I was working, doing insurance. And when I took you to the
doctor
on Biscayne Boulevard and 120-something Street. Oh my gosh. I still have flashback of that day.
I have flashbacks of that day every now and then.
And when the doctor when they said positive, I was, wow, she's so young. She's so young. But you had your kids early, and now they're, how old is the youngest?
18.
He's 18. And look how good and young you
He'll be 19 next year.
He'll be 19?
I mean, next month.
Next month?
Yeah, September. He'll be 19.
And look how good you look. And look how young you're still young. You see that? So, God knows what he's doing.
Yes.
All the time.
And it's all in his timing.
Yes.
It's all in his timing.
We don't know God's plans for our life. Sometimes back then we were like, oh my gosh.
What are we going to do?
But look how God worked it out. You had some rough times.
Yes.
But God brought you through
all of that.
Through it all.
Through it all.
Denise, I want to thank you so much for taking this time out to sit here with me, because I know you're tired, to sit here with me, for this interview, and, coming all the way from Orlando on your, you came here for a birthday party.
Yes.
Weekend.
Yes.
But you took the time out to, to come on the show with me. So thanks a million for that.
That's not a problem.
Super mom. So that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for watching Just Reason with Joy. Have a blessed day. God bless you. Anything else you want to say?
No, I'm okay.
You okay?
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.